There we go. That should work. I just rattled off like. Let me start
All
that
this
over,
stuff.
dude. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. Bear with me tonight because I'm having all these technical difficulties with this stupid software that we stream through. So
but you're juiced up.
I'm juiced
You're ready
up.
for it, man.
I'm juiced up.
He gets. People don't know. J-Wack gets so pumped up for these shows. I think like we understand, but how everyone else viewing and listening understands.
Oh, let me say that shit again. So Rondale Moore. He missed the most of last year with a hamstring injury. He played the first couple weeks. 2018, he won the Paul Hornung Award, which is given to the most versatile player in the NCAA. And he's the second true freshman to ever do that. The other person was Christian McCaffrey. So that is great company. And he's the first consensus All-American. He's the first freshman to ever be a consensus All-American in Big Ten history, too. So crazy.
And then if they couldn't hear before, and I added at Purdue, which makes it even more crazy.
And he led the nation in receptions as a
Man, that's
freshman.
crazy when you think of all the good freshmen that come through the Big Ten too. For him to be the only consensus, like I'm thinking Maurice Claret's freshman year. Like, how did that dude not get consensus? What the heck?
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I don't know.
Those Ohio State homers.
Well, I mean, yes. Honestly, the national championship game against Miami was, I think, like I always loved playing football. That was when I fell in love with watching football. Like I was 12 years old and I was like, watching football is awesome too. Like, I mean, I always like playing it. Like I just like to hit people, but like this is great.
Was that Craig Krenzel and Michael Jenkins?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, I remember that like his yesterday, like, because my family were huge Ohio State fans growing up, huge Buckeye fans. And like, I forget how old I was at that point, but I was pretty young. So like that really just kind of set it in stone, get that momentum going for the rest of my life. Just huge Buckeye fan.
And that Miami team was so good too.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Portis, you had Davis. I mean,
that pass interference call in the end zone, I forget, was it against on Santonio? The throw was to Santonio Holmes. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get into this. We're gonna start off with Rondale Moore here. Obviously, like I said, I've had a little bit of technical difficulties with getting the video to play. Sometimes it's been stopping, as it's happening right now. So let me reload this. Unfortunately, I don't know what's been going on, but
it's just one of those nights. Now, we brought up Ohio State, and part of that is because Jared and I are big Ohio State homers, but it also fit really good with, unfortunately, the first clips, and these were the ones that one of the games that I went through, because 2 years ago, now he didn't get a chance to play Ohio State this year due to injury, but 2 years ago, he torched the Buckeyes. Like, he torched the Buckeyes. And we know all of the good defensive backs that have gone through Ohio State. Lots of first-round guys. Wade was covering him through most of this game, and he's still there, but looking like he's going to be a first-round NFL talent as well. So it just adds more context as to how uber talented this kid is.
As a true freshman against Ohio State.
As a true freshman at Purdue.
Purdue, right.
Oh, man.
yeah.
All right. We still on the struggle bus?
Since you're going through some difficulties, let me tell my story, Jim.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing.
Okay, so I think you guys know that I have a coaching background, and last winter, so this would be after Rondale Moore's freshman year, I went to a Glazier football clinic. So that's just something, it's like, think of like professional development for any job. You go to whatever sessions that you want, things that you think are going to be helpful for, coaching for the next year. You talk to coaches. It's a pretty good, clinic. And I enjoy that because I love football. So I go to this one, and it's Jamarcus Shepard, who is Purdue's wide receiver coach. And I think he's like co-offensive coordinator or like co-passing coordinator, whatever is his role. So I go there because I'm like, okay, well, this would be good. A Big Ten, position coach, receivers, I like the spread. And then also I like Rondale Moore, so I'm like, I could like maybe get some insight, like watch some Rondale Moore clips. So I go to the session and I look at his background, and I didn't realize this. So last episode, I think someone asked about my coaching background. My biggest coaching, stint in college is at Western Kentucky. I was there for 2.5 years. And I look in him, Jamarcus Shepard, the coach, was there about a year or two after me at Western Kentucky. So like, oh, there's my in. I could like talk to him a little bit about that, And so between sessions, I had talked to him, just, hey, I was at Western, just after that, we like talked a little bit about Western, and, I was like, hey man, great job. I had a couple of coaching questions for him. And then I was like, hey, how good is Rondale Moore? I just had to ask,
Yeah.
And that's completely as a fan.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm telling you, man. And I feel like he told me more just because he knew, I was a coach and we had, the same place. But he's like, it was tough because he walked in as a, high school or incoming freshman as the best wide receiver in the group. And like, you don't want to let them know that because you want them to earn it. And so he said it was tough because, you had to still stay on him. And he's just like faster and better than everybody else at Purdue. And this is also another cool thing is he just said he's so dedicated to football. He's like, let me tell you this. So he's like, after we upset Ohio State, okay, sorry, boys, you already know the outcome of this game.
We do.
And that's what this clip's going to be, all these clips about, this game. So he was a huge part of it, upset Ohio State. I don't know if Purdue's ever beat Ohio State that I remember, but I can't remember.
In a long time or so.
Yeah, look at this. They're 3-3, and Ohio State's 7-0 ranked 2. And he said after that game, it's like midnight. And he gets a text from Rondale, and he's like, oh, coach, in the third quarter, I missed this block. I should have done this technique differently. I would have had better blocking. And it's like, you beat Ohio State, and like, you were the biggest star in that,
Yeah.
And he's not out partying.
Right.
He's not out, girl chasing or, getting, everyone just cheering him on. He's grinding film that night.
That's crazy.
About a block of the third quarter.
As a true freshman.
How he is.
And
yeah,
he killed that game too. Like, he was the man.
Right.
That's
right.
crazy.
He said he's that focused. And for me, when I think of, evals, like, we get to get the film part of it, but we don't know the character part of it. We hear like what they'll tell us, Sure. But to me, that's like insight. Like, hey, this kid's locked in. And you can tell when he scores touchdowns, he just hands the ball to the ref. He's not about the show. And for me, that's a good thing because now I can check off the list. I don't have to worry about off the field concerns with him.
Anytime you hear a true freshman at 5'9", 180 some pounds or 190 pounds is squatting 600 plus pounds, like, I'm like, okay, this guy puts in the work. Like, that. So that's a great story, Nick. Thanks for sharing. Like, those are the types of insights that you like to hear, because it's tough. You can't see that on film, so thanks for sharing that. Let's see if this works. Nope, I had it working, and it's just, my goodness, man, I don't understand.
So we had a question over here. Paust asked where I had these guys ranked before freshman year. I can't remember. I'd have to pull it up. I had Jalen Waddle.
Here we go. It's going.
As my wide receiver 2.
Shut up, Nick.
All right.
Did it work?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. All right. We're not saying anything else.
Jared is just struggling tonight. It's not me. It's the software. All right.
We good?
So we got more in the slot here.
All right. Play it through this first time.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do that with all of my plays. So, all right. So we have them lined up in the slot here. First of all, nobody over top but burst off the line. You'll see that a lot from him. Burst off the line. Good quick route. And then he could easily run out of bounds for the first down here. He knew exactly where it was. But what he does, he cuts back inside. And this, I'm going to emphasize this several times with him. His ability, one, to make guys miss. He is elusive, like textbook elusive. But two, he has really good vision downfield, and he understands his angles versus the other players' angles and what he needs to do to be able to beat those guys. And thirdly, he's strong. Like, he is a strong player. You think of somebody at his weight that, oh, we could fling him around. And no, he is strong. He is compact. So you see all of that coming together on this play here. And look how quickly He breaks off to the outside there. So quick, so smooth.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, I think of mindset. He has a different mindset than other guys his size to cut back inside here, and balance too. Think of him coming under balance to cut that back inside.
Absolutely.
Lined up in your slot again.
All right, so this is something that I did see. I saw between my two games, I did see 3 drops, which is something to keep an eye on. He's electric with the ball in his hands, but he's not a great hands catcher, and that's something else I'm going to point out with a couple other plays. He tends to catch with his body a lot more than I saw some of the other guys. So we'll see that as well, but it is something to keep. I'm not overly concerned about it, but that's my red flag, my yellow flag at this point.
That is behind him.
Yeah, it's not a great throw.
I will
it's
say,
not a great throw, but it hit him right in the hands.
2 games I watched, I didn't see any drops. Just
I had a one or maybe a half. You know, where it's like it
could have been counted either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 3 in my 2 games for what it's worth.
So we got him lined up here at the bottom versus Sean Wade, it looks like.
Yep, and that was the guy primarily guarding him, whether he was in the slot, which is mostly what he ran.
I think we get a better look at it. No,
So
we don't.
Huh. Maybe I gave you the wrong time again because it wasn't the play I thought it was.
Okay. Decent route here.
We'll still work with. Actually, you know what? No, I know exactly why now. Sorry. Run it one more time.
Okay.
Go ahead and just run it through.
Got you.
Yep. Okay. So this wasn't the only example of it, but it was his quick burst off the line that I wanted to show. And even though he had a man lined up over him, look how much respect. Now, it looked like it was actually zone coverage now that I look at it. So it might not have been the play that I thought it was because he broke to the outside right away. But he has great acceleration off the line. I'm not sure if I had the right clip on that, though.
Sorry. They're definitely trying to show man here pre-snap. Yep. Then they bail out.
Breaks the zone right away.
Yep.
But he settles down in the zone. That's smart. That's knowledge.
Yep.
For a freshman.
Mm-hmm. Shows strength there after the catch. Now he's lined up in the backfield now.
This play.
All right. So we're just going to – don't say anything.
Sorry, boys.
Just let it happen.
Just gives it to him, man.
Now, let's look at the situation here.
It's a dagger.
Fourth quarter. They're up in the game. Only chance that Ohio State has is to make a play, make a stop. Not only do they not stop him for the first down, but several broken tackles. He literally gets thrown and still keeps his feet. Like the amount of balance that you have to be able to do that against what year in, year out is the best team in the Big Ten in this type of game as a true freshman shows something really special to me.
Yeah, this is a true freshman right here, running through somebody.
The one thing I like about this that is probably, undernoted is you look at the, 3rd and 7, gets the first down, but you want that clock to keep going. So I think he stays
in bounds.
He stays in bounds. He gives the contact to stay in bounds, and it just worked out for him.
He's like, I could score.
And did you see him see that safety too? Change his angle at the last minute right before the end zone because he had the awareness to see the safety coming in from the side. Like, just everything about this play is poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a dagger though, Garrett. God.
Yep. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt to pick this game, but it was too good not to pick.
I remember being like, who is this kid? Like, what?
That happened twice that season. This game with him and Anthony McFarland for Maryland.
Alex wants to know where would you rank the 2020 class?
We'll get to that, Alex. We're not there yet. We have to get through him and Waddle.
Easily top 5, though. Yes.
Then we can talk about those. Yeah.
Okay, so this one was a little bit of a negative to me. And maybe I'm being a little bit nitpicky here, but there is times where I think he wants to do a little bit too much dancing. He has the speed to just get to the pylon there. And I think he was trying to do a little too much. Didn't read this one very well. He had everything coming from the inside. Am I being a little nitpicky?
I mean,
yes, it was tough to find a lot of negative on this, but I think he should have kept his momentum going to the pylon.
I have a couple clips same thing, same negative. Dances too much, and I mean, if he takes it straight to the pylon, I think he scores.
I think so too.
I mean, I'll only say he's reading that block, and that guy has outside leverage, so he's like, I'm going to cut inside of it. Another guy missed the block.
Yeah,
It's true, but he had so much pursuit behind.
Yeah, he had
him.
more
I don't
room
know
out there. Yeah.
um,
He could have widened him and then cut in.
that's one thing that seems to not translate well to the NFL. Dancing too much. You don't want to do that, aka David Montgomery.
Okay, so this one, wait for the replay on this one because you don't really get a good view of it right off the bat. But this one's both a positive and the negative for me. So first of all, broke that guy off. When you, Nick, I love it. I use it all the time now. Telling a story, he does that off the line here. He absolutely had him bit and frozen, just absolutely frozen in his tracks. Great cut to the inside, but then this is what I commented on earlier. Another body catch. I see a lot of body catches, and I get where it's at there, but that is one thing I would like to see more of is more hands catching, less body catching.
The one thing there that I struggle with is he took a lot of time to make that move. And
he did, but it allowed everything to open up in the middle. Do you see everything else?
And that's my question. Like, I don't know if it's like designed for him to delay.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it could be.
Because there was so much room there, and I think he might have been waiting for Bryson Hopkins to clear out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the quarterback's waiting on him, too, because he's like, shit, I'm about to get hit. Come on, make a break. Like, look, he's already looking. He knows he's going there.
Yeah, it's a blitz.
But, yeah, I mean, one-on-one situations like that, is that a safety or a linebacker? Can't tell. But,
he wins either way.
Yeah. Okay, so this is mine. Just want to show off how quick and elusive he is. I mean, look at the quick twitch, natural ability here. Throws a stiff arm on another guy. Whoop, breaks a tackle and gets upfield fast.
He makes him completely whiff in such a small area too. Like it wasn't like a big move.
Can you go back to the start of that? Like he catches it. I mean, that's pure reaction.
Yeah,
he has very little time to decipher that.
Mm-hmm. You can't teach that. You don't teach that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's the stuff I love to see. Traits. You say it all the time, Nick. Mm-hmm. Let's find the traits of these guys.
Toolbox. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, I see you talking about it down here with him coming out of the supplemental draft. I don't believe he would be eligible because this would only be his junior season. So if that even happens, which is looking less and less likely, he wouldn't even be eligible. So you'd be looking at more like guys like Tamorian Terry, Devonta Smith, and then some of the running backs, Najee, Chuba, Etienne, those guys.
And from what I've read is they're not going to let them do that unless there's like some huge concern, like there normally is, like a huge medical, a huge financial, a huge whatever. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be the case.
And if anything, there was a great step today towards potentially there being college football with them allowing the college athletes to come back to campus July 1st. So if anything, that was a step in the positive direction.
Yeah, so here we talked about it last week, the scramble drill. He's low, nice. Goes high, sees his quarterback getting outside the pocket, so he gets open, gets upfield. Just a heads-up play, high IQ play. You see it quite often with this guy. Yeah.
J-Rock, how much would you love to have him as your receiver?
It'd be too easy.
He make you look so good.
Both these guys. That's why they're both going to go first round next year. Mm-hmm. So here's a clip where too much dancing. It's 3rd and 6. Catch the ball. You see 2. You split 2. You can't beat two of these guys. I don't care how good you are. They have good leverage on you here. I think if he gets upfield, then the coach can make a decision whether to go for it or not, even though they're inside their territory. But it's just creating good habits. So, I mean, quit dancing. Get upfield. Get north and south. Garrett pointed that same thing out earlier. But young kid, still used to the high school game where he could beat everybody, so.
Now, was this game, this was from his sophomore season, right?
Yeah. This one is from his sophomore
This one's from 2019. So. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, which is still crazy young. I just wanted to make sure I had it right.
Ooh.
Yeah, another one here where I thought it was good and bad. Another clip where I thought he was dancing too much, but great hands here.
Great catch.
Good
yeah.
catch.
So an adjustment, body control.
Mm-hmm. But get upfield, man. Like, I understand that you want to score every play, but see, he starts running backwards. Like, just get upfield. I think they only ended up gaining a couple yards.
Yeah, because he lost almost 4 there.
Yeah, without any forward progress.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great catch here. Snatches it.
Nick, you're the offensive coordinator there. What would you be telling your wide receiver in that situation?
See, what's tough for me is that sometimes I think if it was a situation like J-Wack was saying, the one before was 3rd and 6, yeah, you're fighting to get up there. But if it's like 1st or 2nd down, I don't know that I'm that mad about that play because he's proven, to get away with some of that stuff over time. Like I think of, you think of, Reggie Bush or some of those guys. If you told them to like not be Reggie Bush and do all these crazy things, then he wouldn't be who he is. I think, this where he would gain, like you're saying, 4 yards, maybe 5 yards more. But the payoff is he has that crazy touchdown against Ohio State. Like you never know what's going to happen. I think that situation based, I'm okay with it.
Okay. We'll let this one run.
Oh, beautiful play.
Yeah, just balance, strength, yak. Here's a good view of it. I mean, he takes a shot there.
He's 180.
Yeah. Takes a shot, absorbs it like it's nothing, and then he knows where to go. Gets upfield, and he's gone.
I was trying to think of a comp for him earlier, and I literally came up with nothing. Like I was like, I have no clue who to comp this guy to. Like
I've got one.
Well, you got
one. Is it a Rams player?
Steve Smith.
Okay.
That was the closest thing I could think of.
Strong, small. I mean, and we think of like, and that's the problem when you think of a comp, you think of like, oh yeah, but Steve Smith wasn't that fast. Like when Steve Smith was younger, he was faster.
Oh yeah.
He's like a 4.4 guy. Fast. I think Moore's faster, but
he ran a 4.33 coming out of high school at the opening.
I know he's gonna be crazy.
42-inch vertical. They test the vertical differently at the opening, right?
Yeah. So
time in the air, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so they do like circles that hold themselves up, and that's why you'll have different verticals than you see at the combine. The combine is, and people think this is always wrong when tall guys get an advantage. They measure you and they adjust the ladder to your reach,
right?
And then you have to jump and hit,
yeah,
as many of the little ladders that you can.
Great catch there.
Great catch.
And then he slips a tackle. Like, that's a tough catch there. Look at that.
It's great extension.
Yeah, I wanted to show off his hands because I actually didn't really notice. Like I said, I didn't see any drops in the games that I broke down. And I saw some nice catches like this one and then the previous one we showed.
It could be the difference between freshman and sophomore season. That's something that he could have gotten better at.
Yes, I think both my games.
Especially if he's that hard of a worker. Yep.
So we don't get to see him run on the boundary too often, so I thought this would be a good one to show. Typically he's lined up in the slot, sometimes in the backfield. So he's lined up here at the bottom of the screen, runs a good comeback route, breaks it down, and then he explodes out of that cut. Makes a good catch at the sideline.
Man, he's fun.
I like his angle too. He's coming back to the football.
Mm-hmm. He explodes out of that break too. He's so explosive.
That DB drove on it because he had 5 yards of cushion, was still backpedaling to respect his speed.
Luke Brown says he's too short. We are wasting our time.
Oh, well, you're not going to like the next guy then, Luke.
He doesn't play short, my man.
Yeah, exactly. Tell that to Steve Smith or Antonio Brown.
So I think this is one of your cuts here, Nick, versus Vanderbilt.
Oh, you're right. I'm up. Yeah, so Vandy is going to be this year, and then I did another one that was last year. So what I like about this one is if you go back to the beginning here.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to show it again, right?
Is the route running. Yep. So right there you see, but I want to go back to the start because you can see the alignment. And to me, that's always, you have to have the plan. So when you start this one, keep pause at the beginning, right there. Okay, look. So the defender, whether it's a backer or a safety, he's aligned completely inside of him because you can see his right foot, the defender's, is right on
Inside
top of where his lead foot is. So he's a full man inside of him, but he has to run a slant. So you'll watch him, he'll take a couple steps outside that hash to get him to widen, and then he avoids him inside. To me, that's just such beautiful football and route running. That's just beautiful.
Even a little physicality there. I like that.
Yeah, he used his hands to get off of that, as he tried to recover there. Beat him.
Yeah, so he was attacking his outside shoulder here clearly so he can get inside.
Use his hands. Boom.
Good hands catch there.
Mm-hmm. Avoided a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one where it was like, if you want to call it, that's a negative. And then look at him just avoid and just be athletic and make a guy miss. Like, it's insane what he does. He's so good.
You telling me this guy's not going to be a PPR machine?
He's too short. Just messing. Look. Oh, man. So I don't know if he was like trying to go like catch and run too fast there, or if that's like a legit hands issue. That's what's tough for me. He's taking the field.
So Cape Bordeaux asks, quick question: how can you know what they are running? Is it based off where guys are?
What do you mean by running?
Yeah, I'm not
The
really
route?
sure.
Is that what he's?
You have to define running there for us, Cape Bordeaux.
Yeah, he got some serious mud in his face mask there. I think they already showed it.
So this is another one I'm guessing from, because I got these clips. I think, yep. So he avoids there. And what I love about this one is, so much of a play design is spacing. And so you'll see, you go to the start here. So he avoids inside, but then widens back outside to stay on that hash to increase the spacing. And so we could have a better opening versus that safety. Because J-Wack, as a quarterback, when they can get bracketed and two receivers will run closer to each other, it's easier for the safety to guard them.
Yep.
So right there, that's just smart awareness of avoiding and then getting to where he needs to be and making a play. And then he adjusts. This is behind him.
Yeah.
And catches that.
Good hands again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good clip. Just another heady play, heady route running, savvy move by a young player. And like that's what makes him so good, man. Like he has all these really, really good athletic traits. I would almost call elite. And
he is elite. He's an elite athlete.
Yeah, but
he works hard. Makes a difference for me. Like I think he's going to get better because he works hard.
And like we're talking elite at an NFL level too. Mm-hmm. So, and then he has these heady plays. It's just that's what makes him so good.
We haven't even touched on anything with. We haven't even touched on anything with him as a return man too. Like he's a very good return man as well.
Right. So what I like about this one is and again, one of my themes that I liked with him is his adjustments. I think actually this is not a great route. I think he should have stemmed outside of 28 or pushed him far outside before he crossed the middle. But he has to avoid the ref here. And so when you watch him catch this, it's a body catch. But he hops in front, which coming back to football is what you want, and avoided the ref. And is that reactionary? Is that by design? I don't know, but that's a good thing. Because right here, he catches it, comes in front, and it just makes the play happen.
Yeah.
And all that's good. Like, I know there's a body catch there. I think it was a little behind him, so you had to kind of pause a little.
Slow down a little bit.
But come back to the ball is exactly what you want every time. And then scores.
Cape Bordeaux says like plays, like passing plays or runs. I'm still not exactly following on what you're asking us. Like, are you asking us how do we know like when they're running the ball or throwing the ball? I'm not sure. I don't know if you were watching last week, but we kind of switched up our format and how we're doing these. We've already broken down the clips beforehand. Each of us watched 2 games, and we gave about 5 to 6 clips each that we wanted to show. That's what we're doing now. We're not watching one full game like we used to, but
okay, yeah, that's what he was asking.
I don't know if you can rephrase your question, but
So
He just said yes. I think that's what he was asking.
Oh,
Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is one I wanted to highlight. It's a deep target. We don't see a lot of deep targets here, but he still does the subtle push-off move, tracks the ball well, adjusts and catches it. And you'll see it more on the replay, I think, of the subtle push-off.
There's a couple good replays on this one.
But like that to me just encompasses an all-around prospect there.
Yeah, again, playing on the outside like we don't typically see, but that's a question you know that we have. Can he play on the outside?
Yeah.
Makes him that much more.
And adjusted back. That's a tough adjustment too.
It is.
Giving Sky Designs here some love.
Yeah, and so this is just a one-off clip that I wanted to. Can you stop and go back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you always like to play it all the way through. Never mind. I'll follow the Garrett way. Play it all the way through, then we'll go back.
By request from our YouTube comments, can you let the play run first and then break it down? I agree. We just get a little trigger happy. So I'll run it back here for you, Nick, unless you want to see the replay angle.
No, that's okay. I want it from this angle. So what I like the most about this is, and we had talked about him doing adjustments, right? And he adjusted to a poorly thrown ball, adjusted to a one down the field, adjusted by jumping in front of the ref. Here, he gets his handoff and has to stop and alter his path right away. And then he has to alter his path again. And then he scores the touchdown. But right here, okay, adjustment, okay, move, adjustment. And then his receiver makes him score this touchdown, I think. But that's just savvy, knowing, your body and what you can get away with in terms of cutting and ability. It's just a beautiful thing. He's such a weapon.
For sure.
Because if you look at Northwestern, you can't play that any better than that. That's just a superstar.
Yeah.
That stop and go on a dime is so, man, that's tough. And that's frustrating as a defensive player when you have a guy that can make those types of, like, I remember, obviously I never got to play against anybody this talented. But, for most defensive players, specifically linebackers, like if a guy wants to like get physical with us, okay, we'll get physical, like we'll pop. But when a guy just has that much athleticism and that much speed, you're frustrated because there's almost just nothing you can do about it. Like you get in front of him, you watch his hips, and he's just that quick, and that's frustrating as a defensive player. One-on-one in the open field against that type of athlete, it is a no-win situation.
Sure. Well, that wraps up the Rondale Moore tape. Clearly great in the open field. We pointed out a couple times where we thought he danced a little too much, and that could just be, a little bit of immaturity being a young player. That's something he probably needs to work on a little bit. But like Nick said, you don't want to take the playmaker out of him. So
should we do this right now? So last week we had Bateman and Chase. That was the consensus of how we had them ranked. Where would you put Rondale Moore in those two right now?
Garrett, you go first.
I know my ranks. I know, and maybe I'm saying, should I say where I have Waddle with it yet, or should I wait?
No, we'll wait on Waddle.
Okay, we'll wait. All right.
Kind of
so it's Bateman, Moore, Chase for me.
What do you got, J-Wack?
Moore first for out of those three. Moore, Bateman, Chase.
That's how I have it. I have Moore first. I think that he's the only one that, and again, we never know how things could work out. I think he's the only one that could be a truly special talent.